Park Board meeting to order. Beth, can we have a roll call, please?
Barry,
Here.
Corey,
Here.
Brad. Steve,
Here.
Shanda. Here. David.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. We will proceed. First item is item B, approval of minutes of the last Park Board. I'll entertain a motion to approve when you're ready.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Been moved in second to approve the May 21st and June 4th special meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Shanda,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item C, financial update.
With a couple things, just with Coderay being closed, or now closed, officially closed as of Sunday, and prior just having a first come, first serve, our revenue from there was down. But our revenue from Little Egypt and from Blacktail are just, and really Epping Springbrook are doing really, really great. So, otherwise, I don't have a whole lot to comment about current finances. I think we're plugging along like we should. If there's any questions, I'll definitely answer them.
Well, I do have one, but it's kind of sidetracking here, but
Yeah.
with Coderay being closed, because I've had a couple people ask if, can they still come and shore fi- I mean,
Yes,
or,
you can
because
shore
I
fish,
told
yep.
them I assumed they could, but
Yep.
you just couldn't have the campground's closed, the lake is open.
Right. It's gonna be, it's gonna be hit and miss as far as getting a boat on the water, right? Because there's gonna be times you can't. Yep. Shore fishing definitely, right? Especially, the further you go up there to the north, there's that game and fish land there that the tail end of the dam kind of goes into. So even if access was a little harder down on our side, you'd definitely be able to shore fish all around. So I've just been telling people they'll have to, I've gotten a lot of questions too, and I've just been telling people, you gotta be smart, stay out of the construction area, but definitely be opportunities to walk on, park in the game and fish part, and on that part, and then just walk on and shore fish from there.
Okay, any other questions? All right, move on to item D. Or do you need, was the revenue from camping and oil
Nope,
different?
we're good.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
Item D, new business, 2025 budget.
Yep, new business 2025 budget, and and adjustments for the 2024 budget. Budget packet are in your packets. Let's see. Starting on page 16 or page 1, whichever one you want to look at. Page 16. So this is Blacktail Dam. Right now, Blacktail Dam, or has been since county took operation of Blacktail Dam back over. Blacktail's in its own department as opposed to being with the rest of the parks. And then we have two parts there. The top part is maintenance and operations of Blacktail Dam, and you can kind of see where that's at. The bottom part is the road to Blacktail Dam, and we are requesting a 40 from the county commission, a $45,000 transfer for 2024 to get us to where we need. I know that we moving forward, we have to have a better plan with our road for Blacktail. As we talked before, right now the plan is 4 different entities each put in $2,500, $10,000 for the road. We had that spent a long time ago. I know that Brad and I have been talking, or just started talked a little bit last night. There is a little turnover with the township leadership. Mike Herring had passed away. He was one of the directors, and then the clerk and another director, Truckner, Dave, and Jerry are moving back into town, and they were, like I said, a clerk and then one of the directors. So now of the 4 positions, there's really only one of them filled right now. So we do need to get those positions filled for the township and then talk about the road and talk about what we really want to do long-term to fix that. And whether, yeah, go ahead.
I did request, just a note on that township board, I did request from Jason Brevik to meet with him. And I requested that as of this morning before our meeting.
Okay. And we just, because, I mean, $10,000 just isn't going to cut it annually for a 3.5 mile long road, gravel road. So, but anyways, that's, we'll continue to work on the road and all of that. But as far as the budget goes, that's the one thing on with the Blacktail Road, the maintenance loop, is that for this year, we are requesting the county commission to supplement the budget by adding $45,000 to it. So then all the details, the next couple pages are the details for Blacktail. And then on page 4 or 20, is it in this one? 4/19. This shows just our parks budget, 299. You can see in 2023, we put, the county commission added 550,000. 2024, 500,000, and we're shooting 2025 to even drop that number down lower. Continue to add a little bit less and less. At least that's the goal. All the details follow that. And then on page 9, it says, this is our tracking of what we'll be looking at for spending money on capital improvements in the Parks Master Plan between now and 2028. And not that this has to be followed letter to the law, but just so we have a plan moving forward. It's kind of how we see it shaken out at this point. You know, always a little bit of design money first and then operation money second following the parks. So every park has 2 or 3 years where they get money spent in it. And then if you look down, you know, we had budgeted a total of 35 million for all of this. If you look down to that number on the bottom right-hand side or bottom right-hand side of the top chart, we're just under that with 34.4 million. And you can just see annually how much we plan on, or how much we're planning on spending as we go. And then the details to go along with that. Because then the capital fund is the 300. So the details to go with that are the next couple pages. I think most importantly thing I need to say is I really, really appreciate Christy and all of finance. One of the great things working on the county is those other departments that make running parks a lot easier, and finance and HR and GIS and all of them. All of the offices around really make it easier, and finance makes this process really, really easy. So I appreciate them. But I have any questions about the budget? We can certainly go through it as much or as little as you want.
Okay, any questions for the budget? Okay. Item E, or do we need a motion to approve? Yep. Okay. Go ahead, Beth.
Are they gonna also have to have a motion to approve the $45,000 transfer?
No.
Okay.
Just approve the budget.
Okay. Both of, or approve the transfer and the budget.
No, just both budgets.
Just Blacktail budget and
I
we
got
have 2 of them, yeah. So the 2 parts of the parks budget.
Okay.
Yeah, the transfer would have to be approved by the county commission.
Yeah, it's part of the budget.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Clear as mud. Motion to, seeking a motion to approve the 2 sections of the budget, which would be Park Board and Blacktail Dam. Yeah.
I'll make that a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. David makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shanda. Any discussion on the budget? Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Corey,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Shanda,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item E, master plan implementation update.
Coteray Dam closed yesterday for camping. My guys went out there yesterday morning and hauled off stuff that we'd get out of there. Took all our dumpsters out of there. Actually put them at Little Egypt. Hauled everything to Little Egypt for now. Took some, like all of our, not all of them, a good amount of our picnic tables. They're still going to store some picnic tables on site. Fire pit, fire rings, took some of them out. And just kind of stockpiled it all down at Little Egypt just to get it out of their way. So my guys were on it and did that yesterday, and then they'll be J.E. Dunn and their teams will start rolling in already. So they'll start moving on that. Going to be a few weeks before, or even closer to a month before they start out at Lookout. But they're both moving along. As far as the rest of the master plan, we're kind of, like I said, it kind of Coteray has gone into construction or phase, and Blacktail we're starting to get in the heart of designing phase. Brett was up here last month, taking measurements and walking off and doing everything, finding everything he needed to know about Blacktail. Spent 2 days up there just walking around and measuring culverts and every other thing there is to do out there. So kind of now in the design phase of Blacktail and moving forward with that. Otherwise, that's all I have for the implementation update.
Okay, any questions? Item F.
Parks update. Well, camping is up and running and really popular. I think the reservation system's gone really well. We've had a couple hiccups. It just comes down to every time we do it, comes down to somebody deciding that they just want to park without paying, and more often than not, they just drop their camper and leave. I've had a couple at all the parks. Epping Springbrook is definitely the most common for that to happen. We did have one where somebody showed up on a Friday afternoon, dropped their camper. A guy called me, a guy who's kind of a regular camper, called me at Epping Springbrook and said, "Hey, somebody's here. They're not supposed to be. They're in my someone that's coming with me, their spot they reserved." So I went out there, and you could tell the guy, it was a not a very big bumper pull camper, but it's got slide outs. None of the slide outs were pushed out. He didn't have it plugged in. He had his hoses for his septic hoses just laying on the ground. So you could tell he just showed up, unhooked, drove away. So we just pulled it off to the side and then started the process with Karen as far as abandoned property. And it sat out there for about a week, and then someone came and got it. So most of the time at the other campgrounds, or at all the other campgrounds, I usually just have to make a phone call, hunt them down, find out whose it is, But at Epping, we've had a few where it's no license plate, hard to find out who owns it. And I think it's just because of proximity to the truck stop and proximity to town. But either way, I think everything's going pretty well. I mean, we've managed and got through with very little incident. This last weekend, we did have a person who was parked illegally at Little Egypt, and luckily, my camp host was able to move them around to a new spot, and then eventually found the person and got them out of there that was parked illegally. But otherwise, as far as just camping and reservations and all that's going, by far the best year we've ever had. As far as stress on me, phone calls, having to run out and check on things, I think everything's just going smoother and smoother. Just running through the parks really quick. Coteray, we talked about, closed the other day. Little Egypt is just crazy how busy that place is. There's looking forward. I don't know if there's an opening on a weekend right now. I think it's reserved. Every spot is reserved. All the RV spots now through Labor Day, every weekend are booked. And I got a list of waiting lists saying, "Hey, if anybody cancels, can I get this weekend? Can I get this weekend?" So Little Egypt seems to be going well. Epping Springbrook, Still haven't gotten hot yet. I'm still looking online at the LG Sonic buoys and waiting to see, and nothing's really changed. Everything's kind of stayed the same. So temperature hasn't warmed up, so we haven't seen any changes. We are still doing all our water testing. I'm testing, weekly all the creeks going in, and soil conservation and game and fish are testing biweekly on the lake itself. So still doing all our water testing, moving along. Should hear any day now as far as the 319 program. I mean, I'm fairly confident we got approved and everything. We're at the rubber stamp process, but should be hearing any day now that we have been approved for 319 and then go start looking for landowners to take advantage of those opportunities.
Just curious, on the water testing the buoys do and the conservation district, are they somewhat the same? Like, are the testing for similar?
There are some similar things, yes.
Oh.
What the conservation district does more, right? I mean, the buoys are constant, but there's more different things that the soil conservation is testing for. They're able to get all those different readings from all those different depths. We go every 2 meters and take a reading when we do those. So just get more data from the soil conservation district.
I was just curious if it's a way to calibrate.
I know, right?
Make sure it's like, well, these numbers are off. Why is that? But
Yeah, right. I'm curious to see how that looks too. Like, do they match going on through the summer? Like, when we see a spike in one, is there a spike in the other one? So yeah, I don't think there's been enough change in anything yet to notice any tendencies, but I'm excited to see that as well. Otherwise, McGregor Dam, my guys just went up there on Thursday last week. Every guy went up there just to keep Nathan up there, employee out of Tioga, same guy that's been there since I've been there, or since before I've started here. But it's just him, and he's also got another. He runs the weight room for the summer for Tioga High School, and so he's got some other commitments. So sometimes he falls a little behind, and we just send the whole crew up. And they got we had some issues with the fishing pier out there, and they got that back in the water, and just kind of got him all caught up. I think that's it I think we ran through all the parks. Blacktail, like I said, Blacktail is still very busy. Very busy. Again, there's openings on the weekends, but not many, and not on the holidays. It's full. That reservation system has really changed things. It's really nice. And otherwise, just the road. Like we gotta come up with a plan moving forward with the road, and I'll work with Brad, and we've kind of got some ideas, but.
Just to touch on that real quick so everyone's aware, Blacktail Dam Association had their meeting for the spring, or the second spring meeting, I guess it would be called. Very good turnout last Friday night. There was discussion. I had brought up a item that may be advantageous for all of us, is for in the future we allocate funds at Blacktail for a matching to a certain extent for paving the road around Blacktail, the outside of Blacktail. There was very overwhelmingly acceptable response to that. If it's something that we could put together for in the future here, they're very interested, and they would allocate funds. I believe we could allocate a substantial amount for Blacktail.
how far is it? How many miles?
3.4.
3. So like allocation of 4 million, or?
No.
I would just comment, Brad, I think it's a legitimate idea. Maybe it's something you guys can consider when the projects are all done. If there's money left over from the funds that we've already allocated for our parks, that money could be used to help offset that.
And we're talking asphalt. Asphalting the outside is what the thought is. I know we have
So
occasional
you're not
heavy
requesting,
trucks.
you're not requesting 6 inches of concrete?
No, no.
Anything else for Blacktail?
No, I have nothing else for any of the parks.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a trivia question, if I may, Mr. Chairman. In looking around the room and observing everybody,